Today I will share with you what happened to the Israelites after the crucifixion. Apparently just before the crucifixion, when Christ, Yahushua was with Pilate, the people shouted, "Crucify him, crucify him." But that is only a very small portion. The larger portion of Israelites were no longer in Israel, in Canaan. They were in Assyria. So this is our next topic. Towards the end of Yahushua's life here on earth, he put this one question to his apostles: "Who do people say that I am?" One apostle said, "You're John the Baptist, come alive." Another said, "You're Elijah." The other said, "You must be one of the prophets come alive," according to them. "But you, who do you say I am?" Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Then Yahushua said, "Right, Peter. No one told you that except my Father. So from now on, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bound on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." Naturally, towards the end of Yahushua's life, the group needed a leader. And the Father reserved that choice to himself by revealing to Peter who his son really is. His son Yahushua is not a reincarnation of any past dead prophet. He is the Son of the living God. And that can only come from the Father himself. And this he revealed to Peter. For 3 years following the death and resurrection of Yahushua, the apostles started preaching only around Canaan. The name of the place at that time was Canaan. Later it was Palestine, and today it's called Israel. For 3 years they only went around Canaan, evangelizing, teaching, but the temple authorities became too aggressive in persecuting them. So they went outside of Canaan, leaving only Jacob to be in charge of the community in Jerusalem and outside Jerusalem. The apostles left Canaan. Peter, with 4 other apostles, went to Assyria because Peter was assigned to the circumcised, whereas Paul was assigned by Yahushua to the uncircumcised. So Peter went where there were more Israelites, which was Assyria. Because 700 years earlier, the Israelites were exiled to Assyria because of their sin against idolatry. Yahushua told them, "Go to the lost tribes of the house of Israel." And that is where Peter, whose assignment was to take care of the circumcised, went to Assyria. He followed the 4 apostles, Matthew, Thomas, Bartholomew, and Jude Thaddeus, who went there earlier. And there they concentrated their preaching to the circumcised. And a great thing happened. There was mass conversion of the Israelites and their Assyrian cousins were also converted. That's why now the Assyrians can say that Assyria was the first nation in the world to be ever converted to the faith of Yahushua. The massive conversion of the Israelites and their cousin, the Assyrians, was already foretold by the prophet Hosea. Earlier, before the exile, he was there and he saw the sin of idolatry that the Israelites of the north were doing. So he predicted that one day you will be exiled, you will be punished. But then he said in Hosea chapter 2, he said, "In the wilderness I will comfort you. I will court you again. And then you shall know me and shall return to me." St. Paul in his letter to the Romans said, "The gifts of God are given permanently. They are not withdrawable." So the gift of God, Allah, to the Israelites, they are the chosen people. They will remain His chosen people. So St. Paul said, "You Gentiles," because he was the apostle of the Gentiles, "do not be proud that you are now in the tree of Yahushua." The Israelites were broken off because of their idolatry, but they were converted and they are now grafted in that olive tree who is Yahushua. Now the Israelites, majority of them are the followers of Yahushua. This is not really known to many people. What they know is the Israelites rejected the Christ, Yahushua, and they remain that way until today. But that is not so. The majority of the Israelites were converted. And they, with the Assyrians, especially the Assyrians, could say, "We are the first nation in the world to be converted." They are the ones who evangelized the whole of the East, because the Romans, the Latin Church, took care of all the nations in the West. The church Peter established evangelized all the way to the East, reaching China, India, Japan, Southeast Asia, and the Philippines. Today we can say the first missionaries of Yahushua who stepped on our shores were the evangelists, the successors of the apostles, the Israelites and the Assyrians, who came here around the year 650 CE.